everyone, and welcome to the Latinx Business Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Gomez, and if you're looking to demystify the world of business through the raw, authentic stories of Latinx entrepreneurs, you've come to the right place. As someone with an MBA and an IRS enrolled agent license, I've spent years helping freelancers, partnerships, and S corporations navigate the often tricky waters of the U.S. tax law. Now, I'm bringing that expertise and passion to this community right here. So thank you for tuning in, and you know what? It's time to talk business. Hey guys, welcome to another tax tip episode. I'm your host, Randy Gomez with Latinx Business Podcast, and I do hold an MBA and an enrolled agent license from the IRS. Now, today I want to talk about the individual tax revolution for 2026. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Guys, that has changed a lot of items that were set to expire, but now they're gonna be permanent, right? So the new higher standard deduction is available for individuals. This year in 2025 is $15,750. For next year, which is this year 2026, we are bumping it up to $16,100 that you don't have to pay taxes on. Now that's a standard deduction. Every single individual in America gets it, no questions asked. And if you're married, that bumps up to $32,200. Now you can see how much that becomes a significant tax savings on anyone's tax return, right? Today I want to talk about some deductions that have, or breaks that have come about in 2025, but they're still are going to be here in 2026, and they're very strong and they're very important. First one we're going to talk about is overtime. So if you work overtime, $12,500, you are able to deduct that from your taxable federal income. $25,000 for a married couple. So, right? Like we're already talking about like $30,000 for standard deduction, and another $25,000. So you can exclude $50,000 of your income that's taxable. That would be great help for a lot of individuals, especially now. 2026 feels very heavy. It feels like everything's really expensive, right? So a good break in your taxes would be a nice one. Auto loan interest. So if you buy a new car or refinance an auto loan, or if you are buying a used car, you can get a deduction for the interest you pay on that loan, right? So make sure you're calculating your numbers. This year I'm getting people saying like, oh, I don't know how much I paid. Okay, get it together. We're gonna have to know how much you pay. So get those numbers ready. We need to be ready to file every time you come with us and do your taxes. But hey, the more diligent you are, the better and the faster we are at getting those deductions for you, right? Also, one that's really big and still gonna be around for 2026 is tax-free tips. So if you are in a traditional field that tips employees, like a service industry like bartenders, busboys, waitresses, waiters and stuff like that, or clubs and so stuff like that, you'll be able to exclude up to $25,000 of your tip income. Now, if you have a base pay with the club you work for or the restaurant you work for, that's not excludable, just the tips. Tips will show up on box number 7 of your W. All right. So the state income tax, the local state income tax deduction. Now that went up to $40,000. That's a huge relief, especially for a lot of us here that live in California. We pay a lot of tax and property tax. So does Texas, New York, the Pacific Northwest. Right? So people were losing a lot of that deduction. So that's still going to be sticking around for 2026. So it's very important that you guys, if there's any additional assessments you need to pay for your taxes, pay it. Pay as much of those taxes off in the current year so you can take the write-off and it can benefit you at tax time. Another very important one that a lot of people look out for is the child tax credit. You can only get that from age 1 to age 16. So what that means is that credit will not be going away. That credit actually went up from $2,000 to $2,200. Right? So, and that's awesome too, because you can essentially reduce your tax by that amount. But yeah, right now, guys, it is the best time. It's May. It is the best time for you guys to double check your withholdings at work. A lot of people, for some reason, think it's fun to go exempt or have just listened to influencers online. And I'm like, hey, do not go exempt. You're not exempt from paying taxes. And if you go exempt half a year, guess what? You're going to end up owing next year. and we won't be able to help you. We will be able to help you in the sense that we'll tell you how much tax you owe for that year. Now, does the government care if you go exempt? No, because guess what? Next year you're gonna owe them with interest and penalties. So they get more money from you. So if you're listening to these influencers that say don't give the government any of your money throughout the year, think twice. All right, but that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share this podcast with your network. Your support helps our Latinx business community grow stronger with every listen, and I truly invite you to connect with us. Send us your questions, your comments, or even your own business stories to randy@rgtaxes.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, keep learning, keep building your business, and keep growing your business mindset.